Hey everyone, welcome back to 30 by 30, my vlog where I do 30 things before I turn 30 years old. In this week's episode, I am so excited to share with you this thing that happened that was totally unexpected that I couldn't have even planned for if I wanted to, but I'm so glad it did, and it's all because of this one gentleman that has this huge heart that did this one thing that touched the lives of so many people. And it is such a good, heartfelt story. I can't wait to share with you. So, without further ado, let's jump on back to February. It was a frigid February evening when I decided to take Manny on a walk.
The coolest thing just happened. I was walking, or I am walking Manny, and I'm walking down the street and I have my headphones in, and I thought this guy was like, "Do you have kids?" And I don't. And I was like, "No." And then they're like, "Do you have any grandchildren?" And I was like, "Oh, I definitely don't have grandchildren." But the guy works for DHL. They they're like a trucking company, and something happened and they got a whole pallet of children's books, and he gave me a bunch, and now I have some kids books, but I have no kids, but I have friends with kids, so I'm gonna pass this along to them.
I got home and I was like, how cool is this? Like, all of these books are brand new. Most of them are still wrapped in the shrink dink wrap. They have the price tags on them, and these books are like $15, $20 books. I'm like, this is crazy. I actually separated them out a little bit, thinking of some of my friends that have kiddos that I thought would like them. I had also done something that evening. I had shared on Instagram kind of what happened, and before I knew it, I had people messaging me, "Hey, if I give you money to ship them, I would love a couple. I work with parenting teens that are teaching their kiddos how to read." I had someone else message me that said that the kids at the pantry would love them. I had someone message me that she knew a teacher that her kids in her classroom would love these books, and someone else messaged me about her and her mom would regularly donate to this nonprofit and they would love books too. So I slept on that, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people that could really benefit from these books. And at the time, I only had maybe 10 or 12. I didn't have that many. So I was thinking, what if I contact Frank? What if I reach back out to Frank? Because I know he has tons of books. I wonder if I could get a few more. So what I did is I actually printed off all the messages, and I cut them out and taped them into a little note, and I walked down to Frank's house, which I had to remember what house it was. I'm actually so glad, because the night before I drove back by and there was that box. He had actually tore it down and it was sitting by his mailbox, and so I was like, okay, that's the house. So I knew where to put this note I wrote him. I knew which mailbox to put it in. The next day, I got a phone call from Frank's wife, Wanda. Okay, just going through my notes here. So she's calling me back about the books. She was about to go to work, so she thought she would call me beforehand. But tomorrow, her sister-in-law is coming to look at the books, and they're going to be grandparents here soon. A baby due July 26th, so they definitely picked out some books for the baby, and they called their church, who they're waiting to hear back from. So anyways, long story short, she's gonna give me a call back probably maybe Sunday or Monday after she gets with her people, and she said there will definitely be she's like, I'm sure not all the books will be gone, so we'll see what's left over, and then they'll give me some more books. So yeah, yay, more books are coming. So I'm gonna wait to ship out the stuff. So Simone, Stephanie, and Julie, and Lisa, I will keep you posted once I hear back. We actually scheduled a time for me to go a couple weeks later and grab more books. Okay, it's time to go pick up more books from Wanda and Frank, but I think Frank is working. So I'm gonna grab a couple boxes, or a box and a couple bags. I actually have them right here.
And we're gonna go fill it up, see how many more we can get.
I remember walking in and Wanda showed me this spare room that they had, and the books were literally stacked like halfway up the wall throughout the room. There were so many books. I didn't realize how many books there were. Before you knew it, my car was full of books. I had taken them home and I put them in my living room, and not gonna lie, life got a little crazy for a couple months, so they kind of sat there, and then I was like, I need to get these books out into the world, into the homes, and into the hands of the people who will read and love them.
Remember the books that my neighbor gave me? We're finally getting them to people where they should be, not sitting in my dining room.
I started putting post-it notes on groups of different books. There's so many stories, and I'm going to share some of them with you. My best friend from college, she has a little one, Riley, and if you don't know me, you know that I love to do puzzles, and Alex and I, Riley's mom, were texting about how she was like, you know what, it would be pretty fitting if your Aunt Ashley got you your first puzzle. And I was actually antiquing, I was treasure shopping at Gillies, because we have a booth there, and I found this puzzle that was like an Elmo puzzle. So I bought that for Riley, and then I was like, oh my gosh, there's like an Elmo book set that I can gift her. And it had this keychain that like played noises, and oh my gosh, I swear, like, every parent that got these books, I should have sent you some earphones, because most of them, they play, like, they have sounds.
Look what mommy found. Yay! Beep, beep. Push your button. She's so happy. Oh, I gotta eat it.
Riley loved those. She loved the puzzle, but she loved the book that had the little keys in it. I had also set aside a bunch of books to take to Hamilton, my hometown, and honestly, I felt like Santa Claus, because I had put a bunch of books in bags, and then I drove home to Ohio for the weekend, and I literally felt like Santa Claus because I was going house to house dropping them off. I mean, I didn't like go down the chimney, but I did put them on the front porch. There's this one little boy, and he's obsessed with Mickey Mouse, and there's a bunch of Mickey Mouse books that I gave him. Another little boy, he loves books that have sounds, and so this is perfect because these books, they're mostly sound books. Another family, one of the kiddos, his name is Bo. In this book, one of the characters, his name is Bo. It's spelled differently, but a couple other like really fun stories. I had met up with one of my roommates from college. She actually lives in Avon, so just the town north of me. And she's pregnant right now with a second one. She actually had her baby yesterday. So, or wait, was it yesterday? No, it was today. She had her baby today. She was in the hospital yesterday. So welcome to the world, Logan. And her other baby, Owen, their dad is a firefighter. So I don't know if you guys, like, I'm not super in with the new TV shows, but there's this show called Paw Patrol, and it has like a police, it's like a dog show, I think, and it had like a police dog and like a firefighter dog. But anyhow, I thought Owen would like these books, and there was a couple, like, there's different age ranges. So I set some aside for Owen because it fit like in his age range, and then I set a little set aside for Logan. Anyhow, the coolest part about this Paw Patrol is when I went to drop off the Paw Patrol books, Owen, he came outside and he had a Paw Patrol shirt on, and literally, like, I didn't know if he liked the show or not. And my friend was telling me how they had just started watching that show that morning, and that day was the first day he wore that shirt.
Mama! Mama, I want this one. Open this one and open this one. See? This
I also had a friend come over for lunch one day. She brought me lunch. Totally a great surprise. And she brought her daughter with her, Scarlett. And when Scarlett came over, I mean, like, since I don't have kids in my house, I mean, my house is probably pretty boring for kiddos. But I had a trunk full of books. So she came over and picked out a book, and she was like super entertained while me and her mom had lunch together. Some of the books I dropped off, there were a lot of Disney books, and at Tribe, the church I go to, there's a family that is obsessed with Disney, and I gave them a ton of Disney books. They have 3 little girls, and they actually took a road trip, I think to Myrtle Beach, and their mom, she said, yeah, this will be perfect to entertain the kids while we go on our drive. So she actually saved those books for the drive down. So that was super cool. I had someone reach out to me and they were like, hey, if you have some extra books, I would love to have a couple that I could use as birthday gifts. So I was like, oh, of course, like I've got plenty of those. I had also shipped some to Justin and I, our cousin. They had a baby, shipped them one of these. Wait, oh, it's right here. I'm telling you, like these little like learning pads. She got a couple of those. One that had a piano.
Sis, are you so excited? Audrey, say thank you, Aunt Ashley and Uncle Justin. Audrey. Hey. Can you say thank you?
We're just like, again, we should have got you earmuffs. But they're so good because all these books, like I feel like they're good learning books. It's really cool because I was able to also meet up with some people that I haven't seen in a while, especially with COVID and everything going on. One of the girls, Sarah, she is an expecting mom. I'm sure she's about to have her baby any day now, but I set aside some books for her baby, and I actually went over to her house and dropped them off, and it was just so good to catch up. And she told me all about her life and the baby to be, and they're having a little girl, and I'm pretty sure the due date is on the it's right around the 4th of July, which is their favorite holiday. So it's so good. Another book was about I struggle saying that word, about graduation. Like school is out, you know, a couple weeks ago, and so I had wrapped up this book and I put it on the doorstep for when they came back from her pre-K graduation to open. So that was super sweet. I had a friend who reached out to me that said her sister just got done with school and she's trying to build her book collection up, so I set some aside for her. Also, going back to the original request of the people who had messaged me in the beginning, I set pretty big piles aside from them. So these are a bunch of books that I either shipped or dropped off. So I shipped a ton of books to one of my friends in California. She works with a bunch of parenting teens that are teaching their kiddos to read. I completely forgot about media mail and that you can ship packages like really affordable if you're just shipping like books, books. So thank you, Stephanie, for reminding me about that. I am working on entering all the details in Pirate Ship and gonna be shipping these out this week. I shipped some others to Hilltop, I think it's called Hilltop Neighborhood House, and it was so sweet. Yeah, they sent me a little thank you card. Really sweet of them. My friend Julie, she was saying, she's the one who told me about Hilltop. She told me that a lot of these kids, they get donations quite frequently, but they're usually used books. So for them to get brand new books was like something that doesn't really happen often. So that was just like really heartfelt that these kiddos got brand new books. I also met up with Simone. Her church, they hand out things at the pantry. So I gave her a bunch of books to hand out to the kids at the pantry. And I also set aside about a half dozen books for Tribe and gave those to my church too for them to use as well. Also, I know I keep saying also, but I'm just like, and also, this is how many people these books got to. So also, one of my friends, I had set aside some books because I really knew she liked the titles of the books, what they're about. And this friend, she's been trying to get pregnant for a little while, her and her husband. I had given her these books because we were hanging out, and she was like, oh, these will be nice for one day when, you know, we have kids. I kid you not, the next day, she found out she was pregnant. And I'm just like, that's so crazy that it went from them having kids maybe a little bit further out in the future to like these books were now literally in the hands of someone who was pregnant, which is just so cool. But wait, there's more. So I really wanted to do something sweet for Frank and Wanda because not only did they get all these books together and like rescue them from the dump, but they were so kind and generous to hand them out. But also they are going to be grandparents here for the first time. Honestly, it's in June, or wait, I think it's June or July. But I wanted to do something special for them. All right, we got a couple gifts for Wanda and Frank as a thank you for all the books they've donated. They are about to be grandparents. Morgan with Jade and Grace Boutique made these cute grandma and grandpa shirts and donated them. So thanks so much, Morgan. These are adorable and I'm so excited because they are first-time grandparents, so I think they will love those. If you want to buy your own, Jade and Grace Boutique, there's the website. And then we got, cute is this? I mean, this may be a little big for 4th of July, but we'll see. So I thought that would be super cute for the July, and then this is a really fun summer headband. So those came from Grandma's Hugs and Stitches from my friend Heather. It's her mother-in-law. I was literally getting ready to text Wanda to see like, hey, is there a good time where you may be by so I have a little something for you I want to drop off. And I kid you not, right, like the night I was I had got ready to text her, she had texted me and said like, hey, my husband's up to, you know, he's back at it again, and he had another pallet of books. So she was asking me if I wanted to meet up and get even more books. So I did. And so I had picked up more books, and that's how I was able to, honestly, like some of the people who I had already kind of like shared about, I was able to reach more people and not only like reach more people, but also add to their book collection. All right, we got a second delivery pickup, a second set of books from Frank and Wanda. We had set some aside from the first batch to ship, but I found some bigger boxes because we're gonna add to it because we have so many books. So, yeah. Part 2, here we go. Let me go back to Morgan really quick. So when she gave more books, I was like, hey Morgan, like I know you were so generous to donate these shirts, and she didn't want anything from them. She was just like doing it out of the goodness of her heart. Morgan has a couple little girls, and I was like, hey, would they like any books? And she's like, they love books. And so we met up at Big B Coffee, and I gave those to her. And I think one of the books is like Sophia's Tea Party, and one of her kids is Sophie, so that's super fun. But literally yesterday in the mail, I got these thank you cards from them. Like, how cute? How cute? Thank you for the books, Ashley. Love Beckley. Thank you for the books, Ashley. Love Sophie. This is just the cutest thing ever. Oh my gosh. Like I mentioned, there are so many stories just because Frank did that one thing that one time, and he saved all his books from the landfill, and then he literally was just telling all of his neighbors, hey, if you want some books, if you have kids, if you have anyone you know, like, here's some books to hand out. I did keep a couple books for when Justin and I one day decide to have kiddos.
Ears, nose, tail.
Justin thought this one was really, really funny. Frosty! Like, I'm telling you, these books are just so nice. Sure, that's a little obnoxious. Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Wanda, for coordinating all of the book pickups. And to everyone who got books, happy reading. The end.